Hello YouTubers, this is Jacques from The Moving Icon, and I'm here to talk to you about a video I made a while back. I wanted to get into Cinemagraphs. I thought of buying the G85. I bought it, I checked it out, and I was getting this little purr sound from the image stabilization on it. I just want to clarify why I brought it back, and I'm gonna also tell a lot of people to calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Just for me, it didn't work, so keep on watching. Now, before I start, I need you guys to check out a couple of videos I made, which I think are really great. I'm getting great feedback on them. One is the 17 tips for a better photographer in 2017. The feedback on that is great, and people are really appreciating it. I'm really happy about that. Also, the photo shoot with Claudiane and the photo shoot with Cynthia, the videos themselves are actually completed. I will leave links in the description below. Also, I have a video on my 4 drone crash stories, and I think it's kind of funny, and I think you guys should check it out. What's coming next? Cinemagraphs with Cynthia. We went out, we did some cinemagraphs, and it was a lot of fun, and it's getting clarified. I'm learning more and more how to do these things, and it's really, really cool. More photo shoots with Claudia, Annabelle, Megan Owen, so stay tuned for those things. Now, let's get back to the video at hand and what we wanted to talk about. Now, first of all, let me tell you guys something. I returned the G85 because to me, onboard audio is important. I'm a professional videographer. Most of the times, and 99% of the times, I sync my audio in post. I use a clap, or I use the facilities within Premiere to actually do a sync up of my audio that I've captured separately. I also sometimes use a preamp and use the 1/8 jack and bring my audio onto the camera, depending if I'm doing run and gun work. Now, that being said, I got a lot of feedback from people on my G85 video because I told them, listen, I am getting a small purr and a rumble, sort of in the background when I bought the G85. First thing I want to mention, and I want to get this out of the way now. To me, it is very important to have pristine onboard audio. This is one thing I definitely got spoiled with when I used Sony cameras. Sony cameras, because of their fantastic audio history, have brought all of that stuff into their cameras. So when you're using it, it's good quality. Now, that being said, it is true, you don't need to use your onboard audio, and I don't use it. But I like to have pristine onboard audio for 2 reasons. When I post sync, it helps to make it a lot more exact. And if it's cleaner, it's better. Secondly, for a B plan, when I go and I sit back and I listen to my audio and something has happened with the audio for some reason, I have a backup. It's not the best backup, but it can do the trick. So for me, that's the way I work personally. You might not work the same way. That's the way I work. Therefore, to me, audio on board is always very, very, very important. That's the way I work. That is the reason why I returned the G85. A lot of people panicked, said it's not that loud. Why are you panicking on this thing? Because onboard audio isn't even important when you're doing something professional. I agree, but I still have a priority for good onboard audio. That's all. I just wanted to say that. Now, let's go to my levels of incompetency on that video. I had made the conclusion that I had to buy a camera that was 4K to do cinemagraphs. And if ever you get the chance, read up on what cinemagraphs are. It's basically a photo, and certain portions of that photo actually move. Now, to do this, you have to work within a video workflow. When you work within a video workflow, a lot of people capture at 1080p and they use that. But what happens is that I said to myself, and this is a false conclusion, I said, well, I only have a 2 megapixel still out of that camera, and it's very important. The size of your frame is what you're stuck with when you're working in Cinemagraphs. Therefore, I was motivated to buy a 4K camera because I said to myself, at least when I go and get the still, I'll have an 8 megapixel still to do my Cinemagraphs. And this isn't the case. A lot of guys in the G85 video commented and said, you don't need that. Just use your 1080p and it's fine. So the conclusion is that I was buying the G85 for the wrong reasons anyway. I was trying to get a 4K camera that had a larger sensor and I didn't need it. That's the one thing, is that I actually made the video on a motivation that doesn't even exist anymore. Second thing, now the actual purring noise you hear on the camera when I picked it up, I put the kit lens on the body and I turned it on. When I turned it on, I heard the purring noise. Most people have talked to me and said, on the IBIS, the inboard image stabilization, there is no noise. The noise is on the lens itself, so the in-lens stabilization makes that noise. That's all I wanted to say right now. My conclusion in that video was that the noise was being created by the camera itself, the G85, and that is not the case. I declare it now, it's not the case. But the kit lens is another story, and that we're going to talk about a bit later, because the kit lens, I have heard, is not a great lens. And I had also mentioned in that video that apparently it is a great lens. Now, another thing is that the static that I was getting, and the example I gave in that video of the static that you get with the FZ1000, even on the inboard jack, I discovered is caused because of my lighting. My actual lighting causes a buzz because the camera is so close to it. My top camera is really, really close to the lighting, and it actually affects and sends in artifacts onto my inboard audio when I'm using the 1/8 jack. Another thing I want to mention, guys, don't think it's a loudspeaker and it's going when you turn on the G85. It is not that. It really is not that. And it is a purring noise. For most people, it won't be bothersome. And the actual added benefit of dual IBIS version 2 will far outweigh that little purr that you get, that you can work around or do whatever you want. Use outboard audio, or use even, a lot of people talk to me about the Rode $60 microphone that you can just stick on and use the input jack and everything is gone. So I just wanted to mention that. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to make you panic. So guys, get back to me on that. If you can, I'd like to hear your feedback on those things. Do you think onboard audio is important when you're working in a professional environment, like on whatever workflow you work with? Please share me your workflow and tell me how onboard audio helps you, or how you just don't care about it. Another thing, all you people doing cinemagraphs out there, talk to me about your workflow. I need to know, because I'm working on it now. I just did I went on a whole outing working on a workflow I thought worked, that I learned from Flern, and I don't know if it's the right one. And whatever ideas you have, I want to hear them. One guy told me he works in After Effects. I myself film in 1080p, import my footage into Photoshop, and work via masks. I don't know what you guys do. Tell me what you do and how you do it. And I want to hear your feedback. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for my high quality stuff. Check out Behance. If you like this video, click the thumbs up at the bottom. If you want to keep in cahoots with what I do, subscribe. And don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing. To the G85 video that I made, and it was about the fact that I wanted to get into Cinemagraphs, that I needed a 4K camera, and I need to take this microphone and put it like that so you hear me better. There you go. And that makes more sense. We will start over from the beginning.